Controversial internet personality and former kickboxer Andrew Tate and his younger brother Tristan Tate have been detained by Romanian authorities, according to their defense lawyer. Romanian authorities have launched an investigation into organized human trafficking and rape, but have not released the names of any of the suspects. A lawyer for the brothers told CNN that they are not under arrest, but rather being detained by Romanian authorities for 24 hours, and the attorney didn't discuss any of the allegations. According to a statement from Romania's Directorate for Investigating Organised Crime and Terrorism released Thursday, police served search warrants at 5 homes and detained 4 suspects, including 2 Brits and 2 Romanians. The authorities didn't name any of the 4 suspects, but did release a grainy, sometimes out of focus video of the raids. And in a separate video released by CNN affiliate Antenna 3, officers from the authorities can be seen escorting Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate into police vehicles. On Friday, Andrew Tate tweeted from his verified account, quote, "The Matrix sent their agents." The authorities allege that the 4 suspects formed an organized criminal group that stretched from Romania to Britain and the United States for the purpose of committing the crime of human trafficking. The authorities allege that 2 suspects misled the victims into believing that they intended to enter a marriage or a cohabitation arrangement while transporting the victims to Romania and later sexually exploiting them with physical violence and coercion. Authorities also said that a victim was raped on 2 different occasions in March 2022 by one of the suspects. At least 6 victims have been identified who were allegedly sexually exploited by the organized criminal group. The 4 suspects are going to be detained for 24 hours following their questioning, according to the Romanian authorities. Bianca Nobilo, CNN, London.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? It's your girl here, MJ's Nia. Welcome to the channel. So, yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. I saw it today on a blog. It was Hollywood Unlocked. I think it was Hollywood Unlocked where I saw it the first. Shout out to them. So I went to go look it up myself, and lo and behold, here it is. Andrew Tate indicted on human trafficking and charges in Romania. The real reason why I'm talking about it is because he has a large fan base on social media. Even though he's been banned off of social media, he still has a bunch of people who's listening to him, and they're still like, how you say, regurgitating what he's saying. Let me know if I'm using that right. I know Sneeko is one of his I didn't know this when I did my research. He's one of the people that follows Andrew Tate and listen to everything he says. And like I say, Andrew Tate doesn't have a platform anymore. I think he was just doing podcasts, like interviews or whatever. But yeah, he still has people that are supporting him, you know, despite all of this. Now, I will say this: he's not guilty. He's indicted. We don't know if he's going to be guilty or innocent. We don't know yet. We have to have a whole court case. So I just want to keep that in mind. Now, I want to read you some of these things I saw online. Some comments online about this. You guys be the judge. So like I said, I saw it on Hollywood Unlocked first. And it says, people clearly forgot this man's reason to migrate to Romania in the first place. He has been very vocal about it. I guess Romanian government had to let him know they really don't play with that mess. Innocent until proven guilty. Need to see concrete evidence they committed the crimes. What a great start to this beautiful Tuesday. Let's go. I hope his victims get justice, and at that, the hatred he spouts is swiftly forgotten. True that. I think that all the men that support this guy through his trafficking charges should be charged as accessories to the crime. Honestly, not surprised by this story, and I don't know if it's true, but given how he speaks about women and his affiliation with the Fresh and Fit podcast, their similarities in views about women, he probably did, rope and traffic women, but because of his distorted view on women, he doesn't even realize it. So, yeah, that lets you know right there. There's some people who kind of still thinks he's still innocent because, he's just indicted. But I thought this was very, like I said, he has people who follows what he say. And, these people, they're probably standing up for him and taking up for him and finding all type of excuses. And I never talked about him because when he was talking about women or negative things about women or whatever about women, he wasn't talking about women like me. I'm a black woman. He doesn't date black women. They don't date black women. They mostly date white women and light skinned girls, young ones. I don't think they are dating the older ones. Let me know, light skinned women and white women. I don't think they're dating older ones, because the older ones they don't think like that. They're a little bit older, a little bit wiser. And I'm not saying that young girls are dumb. That's not what I'm saying. There are some young girls who speak up for themselves and see through that stuff. But the majority of the time at these podcasts, all the time I see them is when I see them on Hollywood Unlocked or Baller Alert, or if I'm on YouTube, I see Abin Preach talk about them or playback. That's the only time I see these people. Like Andrew Tate, I don't, like I said, I've heard about him, but I don't really watch these people. I don't watch this stuff. I don't watch their videos. The only time I see it is when I'm scrolling through Instagram. This stuff comes up because now when you scroll through Instagram, you're getting everybody's stuff. And it's the same thing on YT, shorts. It's the same thing. When you're scrolling through, you see all these people saying all type of negative things about women. And it's kind of funny. I was telling my friend that it seemed like men now are beginning to talk a lot of ish about white women. Very interesting. Very interesting. Before, it was mostly black women that was getting dogged out. All they say is they don't even date us. So they don't even really talk about us like that anymore. I mean, if they do, they talk about us in a negative way. But now they begin to talk about the white women in a negative way too, the young ones. Very interesting. Now, speaking of human trafficking, I kind of already talked about this with Pornhub. Yeah, I talked about this 1 year ago. Pornhub profits from, Iraq, ape, child pornography, and sex trafficking. I don't even know how that got through, but it shouldn't have, but it did. But yeah, Pornhub was coming under fire. I actually saw a documentary about Pornhub. So if y'all didn't know, Netflix did everything you need to know about Money Shot, the Pornhub story. So you had to go back when the whole controversy was unfolding back in 2022 about Pornhub. Pornhub was they claimed that they were held. Not everybody was on there doing, everybody on there was strictly, like a porn star. Some of them were porn stars, some of them were people who were not porn stars. There's a lot of stories on there where young girls they would send their nude pictures, like 14-year-old, because it was a story of a young girl. You have to go look it up for yourself. I'm not making this up. It's a whole documentary on Netflix. And it was talking about, human trafficking. And it was talking about other things that no consent. Like there was videos of revenge porn that was being put on not Netflix, but on Pornhub. And these young women would contact Pornhub, try to get it down, and they couldn't get it down. Like it would just sit there, and the person who uploaded was not even a professional porn star. Now I get if a professional pro porn star was doing this, not if they were putting themselves up there, they consent to that. But not everybody who was on Pornhub was consenting to this. Not everybody was a professional porn star, which I didn't even knew that until I saw the documentary for myself. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It says everything you need to know about Money Shot, the Pornhub story. The documentary explores how the pornography streaming site has changed lives for better and for worse. In 2020, the New York Times published an opinion piece that included the stories of multiple women who, as minors, were exploited by having their sexual assaults posted to Pornhub, one of the most popular adult content sites on the planet. The article went viral. Since then, the company has faced lawsuits from assault victims and from activists who allege the sites engaged in child sex trafficking. But for the sex workers, Pornhub has provided a suitable way to make a living and livelihood that being threatened by what they contend is blanket censorship. Money Shot, the Pornhub story, from totally under control director Suzanne Hillinger, explores the history of explicit video platform and delves into the moral contradiction involved in user uploaded pornography. What happens in Money Shot, the Pornhub story? Click here for the complete timeline of events detailed in a documentary from the early days when Pornhub disrupted the adult industry business model to the current fundamentally changing landscape of pornography, distribution, and production, as well as the people impacted by all of it. Money Shot, the Pornhub story, featuring interviews with performers, activists, past employees. This documentary offers a deep dive into the successes and scandals of Pornhub, who's featured in Money Shot, the Pornhub story, along with Pornhub corporate employees and journalists. Performers like Wolf Hudson, Suri Dalla, Natasha Dream, Sherry DeVille, Asa Kara, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name, and Gwen Adore discuss the rise of the site and its major controversies. What happens in the Money Shot, the Pornhub story? Pornhub quickly found success disrupting the adult industry business model, fundamentally changing pornography distribution production. But when ensuring an unending stream of content became company-wide and popular, Pornhub began receiving increased scrutiny. The National Center of Sexual Exploitation made accusations of sex trafficking, while victims of sex abuse and revenge porn were met with little to no justice when the site failed to take down videos of their assaults. But the company's attempt to quell the backlash and a centuries Congregation Act that has since made companies more liable for their content, impacted the livelihoods of some Pornhub's most prominent sex workers and porn performers. Money Shot, the Pornhub story, interviews industry experts and Pornhub employees about the company's rise to fame and the controversies that resulted in a public outcry for the site to be shut down. And they say, where does the Money Shot, the Pornhub story, take place? While its performers are all over the globe, Pornhub is owned by MindGeek and is run out of Montreal office. So yeah, let me play. I don't know if I can show the video. I might have to show it backwards, or it might look funny. I know that I can't really show. I'm gonna show you the video of Money Shot, the Pornhub story, just a trailer, but it might look a little weird. It might look a little distorted. I don't know how you say the word, but it might look a little funny because of copyright issues. That's what I meant to say. Ooh, cannot speak today.
Do you remember the first porn you ever saw?
It was at a sleepover, and at like 2 a.m. something special came on.
And I'm like, 2 women can do that?
An 8-person geriatric.
I mean, anything can be porn.
Every element of the internet has been influenced and led by pornography.
In 2008, Pornhub was omnipresent.
It's pretty much a household name. Like, I know what Kellogg's brand is.
People assume I'm doing mainstream porn. In reality, I'm just in my room by myself making little videos.
Most traffic website in the world, conservatively.
This is a company that does exactly what Facebook does. It's a data harvesting operation.
Some people don't like that these things are not in the shadows.
Knowingly profiting from sex trafficking is what we believe they're liable for.
The more I explored, the more aghast I became. I found too many cases of kids whose worst moments were preserved in amber.
I was pretty reliant on what management was willing to say about it. All we were told was none of it's true.
This industry is going to get cleaned up.
They neglect to see that sex work and sex trafficking are two completely different things.
Sex workers in general were deplatformed across the internet.
72% of us lost our income.
If it wasn't for porn, I probably wouldn't be alive.
It's not just an attack on porn, it's an attack on people being able to express themselves.
And the people who get left in the dust are porn performers.
All right, so y'all just heard that. Yes, if you guys didn't know, a lot of sex workers from last year into this year, they because of all these sex scandals that I just meant, I just talked about with Andrew Tate at the beginning, they are the reason why a lot of these, I don't knock anybody for their job. If you're a sex worker, you do your thing, pay your bills. But a lot of them can't even really work. Because, you can't really promote I think you can't promote OnlyFans on Instagram anymore, and a lot of them had to go back to the porn industry, Whereas they would say, remember, I just show you the video where y'all know if you didn't see the video, you probably hear it. But one of the young ladies said that she was comfortable in her home making her own porn by herself. But now, as you see this woman right here, this is the woman right here, the porn star, she said she had to go back to the industry. She said where you get taken more advantage of there versus online. See, when they were home, it was easier for them to, but basically what she was stating that it's harder now. You have to go back to the industry where they take advantage of your body and you don't have no say because you're now on a set. Whereas versus home is you do whatever you want with your body and you don't have to have sex with other people. So yeah, it was a big, huge thing. If you didn't know, go read about it. There's articles on it. Go look it up. Go watch the Netflix. Like, this is a big, huge thing. So because of Andrew Tate and his brother, because his brother too was indicted as well, they're not only messing with innocent women or going over there forcing women against their will, but it's also taking the jobs away from professional porn stars. Before I go any further, I want to put this out here. I am not for porn. Okay, that's not my thing. Maybe for other people, you do, you boo. But you know what it is when you're getting into this industry. You know that sometimes if you're going online, sometimes they change up the website. They did it with OnlyFans, and you see they did it with Pornhub. They're going to be doing it most likely to the other porn sites. So my question is, I don't know how long you can do porn. I mean, 50, 60, 70 years old, your body change. Your body's not going to be the same when you're 30 and in your 20s. I'm just saying your body's going to be completely different. I mean, are you going to get old and open up a porn industry? Like, I don't get the whole point of making a career out of having sex. That's just me. That's just my opinion, because you're going to get old. I don't see this being a long-lasting career. And then not only that, your family members and your future kids are going to be seeing you like this. So I don't know. So I just want to let you know, I'm not sitting here, because I did notice the trailer was trying to paint like to paint it where, the Pornhub, the porn industry, like the porn stars, or you should feel sorry for them and you should feel bad. Absolutely not. You know what it is. You know what type of business you're in. You know what you're doing. So I know they heard that, because the lady even said in the trailer that they heard about all of this stuff and they were told that no, don't listen to it, like this is all lies. So they knew about it. It's just nobody didn't care about what all the secret things that were going on underneath Pornhub that was wrong. They were doing things that they were not supposed to do. They were putting up videos of not the porn stars, but people who weren't porn stars. They were putting up revenge porn. They were putting up human trafficking stuff. They were putting up child endangerment stuff on there because there were children who were young that was posted on Pornhub. So yeah, everybody knew all about it, but now they want to be like, oh, feel sorry for me because I have to go back to the porn industry. You still working. You're fine. So yeah, let me go back to the original video. This is a huge problem. This is a really big, huge problem. I mean, y'all really do need to be keeping up with the human trafficking. There's a lot of things that's going on out here. I believe there was kids. I think there was a bunch of kids that was missing in Ohio. Let me see if that article. Look that article up. According to Forbes, I've been hearing about this. How bad is Cleveland's alarming missing children trend data suggests an existing problem? Check this out. I'm going to play this article for you. If you don't think human trafficking is a problem right now, you're crazy right now. You're literally crazy.
How bad is Cleveland's alarming missing children trend? Data suggests an existing problem. By Ty Rausch. Top line. Cleveland has reported an alarming increase in missing children reports this year, according to local police, after 27 children were reported missing in the city or its surrounding suburbs over a 2-week span last month, though the available data makes it unclear how big of an increase it is over previous years. Key facts. Newburgh Heights Police Chief John Majoy told Fox News he has seen a lot more missing person reports for children, anyone younger than 18, this year, adding it seems like an extraordinary year. The Cleveland Police Department received 33 reports of missing children for all of May, including the 27 reported missing between May 2nd and May 14th. Majoy expressed concern for the children because it is unlikely an Amber Alert will be issued, which is recommended if there is reasonable belief the child was abducted or if law enforcement believes the child is in imminent danger, according to the Justice Department. Of the 15,555 children reported missing in Ohio last year, 14,940 were recovered by the end of the year, according to data published by Attorney General Dave Yost, as 8,525 were runaway cases and only 5 were abducted by strangers. And a rough average of 200 children a month went missing in 2022 in Cuyahoga County, population 1.25 million, which includes Cleveland, population 368,000, making it unclear how big of an increase there is in missing children. Crucial quote. "It's a silent crime that happens right under our noses," Majoy said, suggesting some children, which he said are most likely runaways, could be in a drug house or farmed to prostitution or caught up in drug trafficking or gangs. Big number. 2,395. That's how many children were reported missing in Cuyahoga County last year, according to state data. Surprising fact. U.S. Marshals announced the recovery of 35 missing children from northern Ohio between March 1st and May 15th as part of its Operation We Will Find You. The missing children were located in Cleveland, Toledo, Akron, Canton and Youngstown, though some were found as far as California, Arizona and West Virginia. Key background. There is no reliable way to estimate how many children are missing in the U.S., as many children are never reported missing, according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The FBI recorded 359,094 reports of missing children in 2022, an increase over the 337,195 recorded the previous year. The U.S. Marshals, which has partnered with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, has suggested the U.S. is experiencing an epidemic of missing children, though the agency does not offer clear data on how it's coming to that conclusion.
All right, so you just hear that. I mean, I can go on and on and on with human trafficking. I had a really, I made a very good video of this over a year ago about this topic. This is a topic that you guys got to be very serious with. I went deeper and deeper and I researched, and you can look it up yourself, that sometimes family members, they will give up another family member for human trafficking. You know, if they need to pay off a debt, they'll give up a family member to pay off their debt. So I was doing my research on it. Look that crap up. I might show you a clip or whatever. Then I went into further about, it says human trafficking search. You know, I'll put this too as a link in the description as well. It talks about who are the victims, and it basically talks about the women and children, people who are the minority, the indigenous. Okay, excuse me for my mispronunciation of the words, but I know a lot of people are real picky on that, but excuse me for that. But the immigrants, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender individuals, history of rape, sexual assault, domestic violence, low income, foster care, runaway, refugees, individuals subject to natural disasters, in an unstable environment. Yes, I even saw that too. I didn't know they went that far, but individuals with disability, things like that. And then it says, who are human traffickers? They basically say transnational, national, local criminal organization, victims, neighbors, friends, family members, village chiefs, returnees, or romantic partners. Yes, construction, fishing, owners of small or medium-sized businesses or large factories. Very interesting, because they said I wanted to know who are the human traffickers. I always knew that there were criminals. I always knew that they were overseas and stuff like that. It's a national thing. It's everywhere. But they even said that the victim neighbors, friends, family members, village, people who real close to you, your romantic partner. Very interesting. So just be aware of that. Where does it occur? There is a difference between human trafficking and human smuggling. Human smuggling is when you're trying to smuggle Like, say for example, somebody who don't live in the USA and you're trying to smuggle them over because they're in a third world country or whatever and they want a better life. That is different from human trafficking. Of the video where I was talking about that, it's very interesting about human trafficking. So if you're sitting around thinking that this is not a problem, it's a huge problem. As I'm going to hand just end this right now, but we shall see if he's guilty or not. Let me know what you think of all of this down below in the comment area. But yeah, but as for now, I should see y'all later. Peace.
You get me so. You get me